Hey, welcome to our next installment for the box. So what we've done now is we've created the box in Fusion 360. We flattened it. We've got our DXF file all ready to go. We have our one measurement we need from the total top to the total bottom so we can size the file when it comes into Inkscape. Today I'm going to show you how to find and use pictures that will allow you to create a really cool looking border across your box. Now, you don't have to do this. You can put whatever you want on your box. You can put nothing on your box. It's totally up to you. But I want to show you how to do this, and just know that you can put whatever you want on it. But here's a cool technique for this. I'll show you that today. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is open up Inkspace, or Inkscape, I should say. Once you have Inkscape open, I'm going to set the document properties first. So I want to set the the paper on my screen to be the size of the cutting bed. So I'm going to come down here to document properties. I'm going to change the properties here from millimeters to centimeters. And the width of the cutting bed is 60 centimeters wide, which is about 2 feet, by 30 centimeters wide. And then I'm just going to close this when I get that in there. Now it's resized it. So what this tells me is all of my parts have to fit on this square in the background. So that's why I just changed the size. That way I know if I'm making it too big for the laser cutter to do. It's got to fit on here. And I'm going to try and fit them on there as, as well as I can without going over the space I have. Okay, so I'm going to import. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go get my DXF file. I'm going to import it. I'm going to find my, it started in the right place for once. Yes, it did. And I want my 15 by 15 by 7.5. That's what I'm going to choose. I'm going to click open. I'm going to make sure it says read from file, which should bring it in at the right size, but there's something weird with Fusion and Inkscape that's not doing like it's supposed to right now. And then I'm just going to click OK. And it's going to bring in the file, and it's going to be way too big. Notice how huge this is. This box is enormous. This is 1 foot by 2 foot basically, and this box is even bigger than that. So this is like, like a huge box. So what we're going to do is get it to the right size. Right now, this is saying it's 800 millimeters, so I'm going to change it to centimeters right here. And I'm going to lock the two ratios. That way, as I shrink the height to the right size, the width shrinks with it. Okay. And I know from this one, I need a height of 31.5. I got that number from Fusion 360 after laying out the cut lines. So I'm going to change this to 31.50 and hit enter. And now this is the actual size of the pieces I should be doing. All right, so I'm going to drag this down here. And notice that it's just too wide. I'm going to have to move these around and change things around some, which isn't a problem. It's super easy to do. The other thing I notice is that on a piece of wood, there's a grain pattern that goes across. And if I leave it like this, I would have grain running across this one. And then on this side, the grain would be running from top to bottom down it. And then on this side, it'd be running across again. And then on this side, it'd be running top to bottom again. So that would look weird. I'm going to get all the sides lined up so that they have a similar grain orientation to them. The bottom, I don't really care whether it's left or right. That's up to you. You can care or not care. Doesn't matter to me. To do that, though, I need to ungroup them first. So I'm going to do either right-click and go to ungroup, and then keep doing that until everything is fully ungrouped. And you'll know it's like down here at the bottom, it says group of 25 objects in layer 1. So it'll tell you when you, down here, it'll say no objects to ungroup when you got them all ungrouped. The other way, the faster way of doing it, or you can also go up here to object and come down here to ungroup right there. Or look at the shortcut key. Shift, Control, and then G also works. Grouping is just Control G, so a Shift does the ungrouping. So I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to hold down the Shift and Control, and then press G. And I'm going to keep doing that until right down here at the bottom it says there's nothing else to be ungrouped. No groups to ungroup. Great, so then I'm all done. Now here's the only catch. When you ungroup everything, watch what happens if I grab this side and try and move it. Uh-oh, I left all the holes behind. So I'm going to Control Z that. And the first thing I'm going to do is regroup the sides with the bottom. So I'm going to highlight all of that. Got them all. And I'm going to hold down Control and push G. I'm going to do the same thing for each of the sides. Whoops. Now when I grab it and move it, they move together. So I'm going to move it out of the way a little bit. I'm going to go about like that. Yep, got it. Make sure I don't grab anything else. What I don't want to do is this. Watch, I don't want to be like that. Because now I got one of the holes in this one and they're going to like get moved on me. So I just want to grab just those. Control G. Okay, that one's good. And then I'm going to grab those. Control G. And those. Control G. Now that they're grouped as each side, I need to rotate them so they're all rotating in the same direction. So I'm going to move all this out of the way. And I'm going to start organizing them on my build plate. So this one, I want to rotate to the right so that I want all the tabs, which are the bottom of the side, to be on the bottom so that I don't have some pictures that are upside down on accident. So I'm going to rotate this one that way. And now these two are in the same direction. I'm going to rotate this one twice to flip it up completely. And then I'm going to rotate this one right here. I'm going to rotate it to the left. And there it is. And I'm going to see if I can fit them all on the plate. So I'm going to give myself a little room from the edge of the plywood, because the plywood's not actually perfectly the right length. It's a little shorter than it is. And I don't think they're all going to fit. I think they're going to be close, actually. So when I get them close, they're going to snap to each other, and then I'm just going to use the arrow key to move them off. And look, I'm not even close, right? So this is not going to work this way. So I'm going to try something else now. And it's just going to be depends on what the size of your box is. So I'm going to say, what can I get one of those and two of these? Nope, can't do that either. Maybe I can get one there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm trying not to waste plywood. So I want to keep the biggest chunk of wood left over that I can. And I think this might be the way to do it. And this is a little too far away. Let me adjust this over a little bit. All right, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I want a little bit of space between, maybe a little bit more space between these two and those two. Yeah, just a little bit of space. That way, as the laser comes through and cuts, it has a nice clean surface to cut on. It's not getting too close. It's going to double burn an edge. So yeah, that looks great. Now I just need to decorate them. So I'm going to go to the internet. And I'm going to do a search. And this time I'm going to do a repeating border drawing. That's the image search I'm going to do. Let's see what it comes up with. And I'm going to search images. It's got 12 million of them. And I'm looking for it. Now notice what repeating means is this. Notice that wherever the right side leaves, the left side picks up from right there. So if you put one next to the other, this one's going to go off the page and right onto that one. So you can set them next to each other and make it as long as you want and make it go infinitely long. Some of these are that way. Some of them aren't. Yeah, this one is too. Notice how cool that is. This leaf is popping out right there, and it's the same leaf that's leaving on that left side. So this would be another one. You could do a leaf one, which would be kind of cool. This one is too. Notice how the image as it leaves here is actually this image over here. So as you did it, it would constantly repeat. This one's vertical though, so I don't want that one because mine is a horizontal box. This one down here, this bottom part of it is at least. Let's see. That's kind of cool looking, but it's pretty dark. Like unless we blew this up really big, all those little white spaces on the inside would get burned out. This one's kind of cool looking. So now we've got to find something that kind of hits us as interesting. I really like the leaf ones. I might come back to the leaf ones. I really dig those. Although that's hilarious. Notice how the little fox's tail is from this side to that side. It doesn't look it matches up perfectly, but maybe it does. Let's see. This chocolate one's not one. See how it's not the same on both sides? So you just kind of look to see that's the same on both sides. That's pretty cool. If you see one you like this one looks kind of fun. I like this kind of fancy stuff. If you click on it, there's probably like that page probably has a lot more. That wasn't a good example of that. I'm going to look at the leaves. I really like the leaf ones. I'm going to do a leaf. I'm going to decide right now. Leaf it is. Where did it go? Oh, I really like this one. Oh, that deer got me. I like that one a lot. Okay, so I'm going to see if there's any more leaf ones on here. No, I was hoping to see even a cooler one. I want a more realistic looking leaf one. Was there one up here? So that's pretty, I like that a lot. I like that more than I should probably. This one was a little more realistic looking, I think. Oh, it has the other leaf one on there. I think there might be the 2 leaf ones. All right, so I'm just going to choose one. Although it's so hard because I don't want to choose one that's not very nice. I'm gonna do this one. I'm doing it. So I'm gonna grab this one, copy image, and I'm gonna paste it over to Inkscape. Remember, when you paste it over, if it comes out with a black background, something got messed up on it, all you have to do, oh, this is gonna cause problems down here. I don't think I can crop right now. So I can't really do this one because of this border at the bottom. That's a bummer. So I'm going to go find another one. What I need is something that's just one clean thing. It can't have other stuff on it because right now, for some reason, the laser cutter won't cut. If we... Oh, wait. Oh, look at that. Right there it is. Yay! Copy image. Look how the internet worked out for me. So this one doesn't have that little banner at the bottom, so this one will work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a path and trace bitmap. So this turns all this gray nonsense to either black or white. There won't be any gray. I'll have to play around to see what level of gray I want included. And I'm going to click on that. I'm going to do update. That's not enough. I'm going to go up a little higher, maybe a 6.5. Update. And I'm going to try that and click OK. I'm going to see how that looks. So I'm going to drag it off to the side. And that's not too bad, actually. It's a lot of white with some outline, so that looks pretty cool. I'm going to actually increase the threshold to 7.75 and try it again. Click on my picture. Click OK. See how that one looks. Oh, I think I like the lighter one a little bit more, actually. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to try below what I had. So I had 6.5. I'm going to try 5.5 and see if, click on my picture again and see if I like that better. Now I'm looking for something that has a lot of white in it. Like here, oh, I might like this one better, actually. It's got some detail for this. They still have some hair on the chest here. This looks pretty good. The fox looks nice. The raccoon's eyes look a lot nicer. Look how this one's all like weird and gloopy, and this one looks a lot nicer. So I think this is the one. All right. So if I was doing this for real, I would actually spend more time trying to make sure I got the right one. I wouldn't give up quite so early. Now I'm going to bring it over here. Oh, look at that. I mean, I need to do a repeating one. The nice thing about this, I'm going to delete this photo, and I'm going to get rid of this screen. I don't need it anymore. It keeps going. So if I just do Control-C for copy and Control-V for paste, I can actually put this one right on and line it up. I'm going to zoom in here so I can see it really well. Yeah, there it is. So now it's like a continuous, I don't like the way that looks. Yeah, no, this wasn't done that well. So this is a little high and a little low, but that's okay. I think it looks good. Like it's hard to tell that. So you end up with like the same picture going across, repeating over and over again. And we can do that as many times as we'd like. So here, I'm going to actually bring this down here. I'm not going to need it. It's going to be too big even. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Look at that. Yep, it's too big even for just one side. That's interesting. So what I'm going to do here, actually, oh, wait, before I do that, before I add pictures, I need to come here and I need to make all of this into red cut lines. Because remember, the laser only has two colors, red, black. It cuts red, it etches and engraves on black. So let's come here, and then we're going to click on Object, and then fill and stroke. Remember, fill is the inside color, stroke is the line color. So I'm going to go to stroke paint, click here, and increase this all the way up to 250. Remember, 254 will not cut on the laser cutter. It's going to just ignore 254. It's like, what is that? It's got to be 255 red, 0, 0, 100, or it won't cut. All right, so that's done. All of them are red. We're all really happy. Now I'm going to take this picture, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to create the look of it going all the way around. So I'm going to do it just like that. This guy's going to get cut onto both of them. And I'm going to add the next one right to it. And I'm going to line it up. I'm going to zoom in and take a look at it. Oh, that lined up better. Oh, maybe I wasn't in the right place. Maybe that was all me. Yeah, that's how that lines up. Maybe not right. I'm gonna go. And the reason it's not quite perfect there is because we did the trace bitmap, so it kind of traced it in gloopy ways, and then it didn't line up perfectly. Which that's not their fault. That's more my fault. So out like this. Now I can't do anything about this overhang here. It's just going to get engraved on the wood and then cut away. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about that. But then the next one, I need to know which one's which. Oh, this is so confusing. I made all my sides the same. It's going to be hard to know which one's which. So I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to repeat. Let's see, it repeats right about at the, I'm going to have to waste some plywood to do this. So check this out. Which one's which? So this one goes with this side. See how those two match up? I'm going to do the same thing on this side and hope that that works. I'm going to get this one. Yeah, so these two go side by side here. Okay, and then this is so hard. And then this one goes side by side here. And I'm going to line them up. So I want to be sure that these two are lined up perfectly. So what I'm going to do is use the align tool. I'm going to shift on that red one, shift click on this red one, and I'm going to come up here to Object and go to Align. Align and distribute right here. That's going to bring up the Align menu, which for some reason isn't opening. Weird. It's right there. Oh, my fill needs to get figured out. I think I've got to tell it no fill. Nope, still can't do it. Okay, so I won't be aligning then. So I'm going to zoom in and just try to align them best I can with my eyeball. So I'm going to go down an arrow key. Oh, and that does it right there. Yeah, that's too far. That's just right. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same thing for these two. And this one needs to move down. Maybe just one arrow. Yep, perfect. All right. And now here's what I'm going to do on this side. I'm assuming that this one must go on this side. So I want my owl to be right there. So I'm going to take this one. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to Control C, Control V. I'm going to put those right on there, trying to line them up the same way I did up there. I want to go over the tabs because I want to be drawing on the tabs. And then maybe, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that height. And I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to pop it over here. I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to move it down and up as far as I can. Just like a little bit from the top, right? So now at least I'm saving this big chunk of plywood down here, and I'm saving a small chunk over here. So I'm going to move this over just a tad. Then I'm going to add my name to it, and I'm going to call that good for this one. So, Joshua Haza. And I want to change that font to something interesting. I saw one up here I just noticed. Where was it? Look at that one. I don't like that very much. Well, you get the point. How does Belle look? Belle looks pretty cool. I like that. And I'm going to change this size up to 64 because I want to really see it. I'm going to do it like this. And yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. If I click twice on it, I can actually rotate it. And this is actually cool too. This shifts it like in this weird sort of stretchy way. It shifts it instead of rotates it. It's kind of cool. Watch the difference. So I Control Z that. If I rotate it, it kind of looks like it's just normal. If I slide it, oops, Control Z. If I slide it, it just like slides in this kind of cool way. And I can actually slide it this way too, or slide it that way. Oh, see, that makes it go the other direction. That's like a rotation. I slid it in two ways. Cool. I'm going to leave it just like that. So this is my file. So once you get everything the way you want it, and now these two, I'm actually moved these closer together because I want them to cut less of the raccoon's head off. I want them to look like they really are. So I want to get them close but not touching. That's about as close as I want to get. That's about as close as I want to get to right there. And now there'll be less of the raccoon's head cut away when it's all said and done. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do just one extra thing. I'm going to go over here. I've been doing this for too long. So this is just the matter, you're just going to play around with stuff. I'm going to actually line it up on this side so I get kind of a different cut and I get to see the raccoon in at least, in at least one of them. I get a full raccoon right there. All right. So that's my box. That's kind of a fun way of doing it. Once you get this far, you're going to hit just File, Save, and I probably should have saved right away. I'm going to do that same location. I'm going to call it Scalable Box 1515 7.5 with pictures. And you're going to actually put your name first without all the other stuff. So really all you need is, I would put in Joshua Haza, my name, and then Scalable Box. And that is the file that you're going to save and then put on Teams inside the Files folder. It is going to be called Scalable Boxes. And then just drop it in there and I'll check it out, print it for you, and set it up. You don't have to make a box if you don't want to. You don't have to have one cut. You do have to do all this other work, but you don't have to actually cut one. All right, great job. I hope you enjoyed making the box, and maybe we'll do a lid for it. I think that might be fun too.